Hello everybody, it's me again. So the day after I did the last speed and accuracy video, I was getting this ready to put through that sheet of steel. These are only 5mm, well about 4.8 to 5mm. And they've got an M3 bolt as a knock. And I was putting it through the chrono and the string jumped it. So it went through the chrono and stuck in the target at like 46 feet per second. Massive sounding dry fire, which cracked both these limbs on the right side, on the outside. And that's what I found. If a limb is going to break when you're caulking it, it'll break on the inside. And if it's going to break when you fire it, it'll break on the outside. Newton's third law again. And it also broke my broken riser again. Left hand side again, it cracked through the opposite direction through those bolts. So I have cut those pieces off and I've milled this flat. I haven't done this side yet because the right side always sat where it should, but this left side was tilted higher and it was also tilted inwards. So there was always an imbalance there, which is what partly caused that weak spot there, because you got two different motions going on when you cock it and when you fire it, and it was always on this side. So I was going to make a complete new aluminium riser, but I do like a bit of overkill. So I'm now making a steel one. And being precise like I do round here, that ain't even got any bolts in it. No, I haven't. I made that from an I-beam. That's two pieces. And these are only tacked, because until I'm absolutely certain they're where they need to be, I'm not going to weld them. And I think they do need to come up a couple of mil. And that's the reason I haven't cut this one down yet. I'm going to cut that off there, and then I'm going to put it in the mill. And mill it down like that. Now that's the second time this cracked, when I was cocking it through that cable mount. That's what it did. But since I bonded that hasn't opened up again. So, but when I bolt this on here, the bolts are going to go through that and the steel, and I'm going to drill a third one at the back, and then hopefully these parts won't break again. But this has been made so that these are dead flat, and now when I put that on there, that is flat, and that hinge pin for the limbs is upright. and rather than tilting forward, it's now flat that way. But I think I do need to just raise that about 1.5 millimeters before I weld it up. If not, they're going to be sitting just a little bit low and the string is going to be pulling tight on the flight deck, which I don't want. I like my string to just barely even be touching it, and then I don't need no lube. So I just cut the wings off my little butterfly here and laid the body on top of that ruler to give me the extra height before I re-tacked them. So now I'll take it in and check the height. If that's all good, I will weld all this up, finish grinding the shape, and then I can cut the top part of the limb off the right hand, off the body on the right, and get that in the mill, get them bolted on, get this sandblasted and painted, get it back on the bow with another little surprise I've got coming. Yeehaw! So now I've re-tacked it at its new height. Got the old one bolted on and I still got this side intact. So that this side always sat in the right place, but being die cast, the other side was higher and tilted in more. Hello Daisy, been out for a wee. So now I take the left side that I've milled and set that on there. Now the height is right. I've come up about 1 millimeter, which is good. That means less string rubbing on the flight deck. So now I'm happy with the height. I can weld this, and then I can finish grinding the shape in. Get this in the right place, drill it and bolt it. Get it all sandblasted and painted and fitted, and hopefully we'll stop breaking. Happy days that'll be. That's all welded up now. Round up a little bit more. Should still be flat. It certainly got warm. It's turned blue. Oh yes. Yes, it's still hot. Ah, yeah. I've been in and put the kettle on and lit the fire since I welded that, and it's still bloody hot. So got that in the right position and drilled and threaded that one, and then put the bolt in, and then took it back to the pillar drill and drilled that one, because the last thing you want to do is mark and then go and drill both and then find they don't line up. It's not what I call precision, so that's now in the right place. I'm just gonna pop the thread into this bit. Lines up perfectly. Beautiful. Well, maybe not, but it will be. So now my brace. Looking good, all centered. Because I bolted that one, drilled and bolted that one first, I could then pivot that to where I want it, and I want to decrease the pressure on the limbs a bit, so I've brought the back over 3mm. Time I do that one the same, that'll push the back of the limbs out 6mm in total. Take a little bit of the stress off them limbs. But I don't think she's going to break this. There's some weight in that, which is good. I need more weight. I still haven't cut this side off yet. That's the next job on the list.
Welcome to the best restaurant in town, your kitchen.
You can see that is tight fitting up the sides. Whereas the original is not. It allows that to flex, and it does. When you're cocking it, it pulls in, and then when you fire it, it goes outwards, and it's both sides are constantly nipping, and then eventually, bang. That fits so well it even hold on itself. Soon. I just got those 2 holes drilled, got it how it's going to be. And already that feels solid as a rock, and that's only got those 2 bolts in it. When it was on the broken riser, and that used to flex and nip, that used to be hard to get this on and off, but that is quite good. So now I just got to cut that off the other side and get that all drilled and threaded. And we are getting somewhere. It feels like it's going to be strong. Feels heavy. I'm getting down to the nitty gritty now. That point of no return bit. Oh, actually, I think that passed ages ago. Die-cast delight. Breaks a treat. It tickles me that they made that part so fat. And that part so skinny. Where the most stress of all is. Right, next step, mill that flat down to the same size as the other one. Do some drilling and threading and bolting. Now for the finishing touch. Just gently milling this down to where it needs to be. Oh, got quite a few hours of that, little gentle skims. So I think the next one will be when I've got it drilled and mounted, and we'll go from there. Good morning, everybody. Been another long all-nighter, but I've got some pieces left over from the broken riser. We now have this monstrous steel riser. The limbs are now sitting where they're meant to. Cams are looking rather awesome. The limb on the left is no longer sticking up in the air. They're both sitting flat and level. Let's gain some weight. If you saw the video of the riser breaking for the first time, this was the offender that did it. 117 grain. So now I'm wondering if my creation will break again when firing a float bolt. $372.6, and it's still in one piece. How sweet did that sound? My faithful 230 grains. $302.7. So there we are. All back together and up and running again. Not too long in the pit lane.